So for someone looking at that though, right? So you kind of had the thing where, you transitioned and you had money stacked up. Like you were able to step away from your job to go full force with.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, it was crazy. I had $200,000 in my portfolio in 2019, which I was not willing to sell. I was like, this is my retirement money. I'm not going to touch it. At the time, I was probably making about $300 to $500 a month in dividends. So I was like, worst case scenario, I could use this money to like pay for food or something, right? But I continued reinvesting. I had about $15,000 left in my bank account, my checking account. And with that money, I bought myself a computer, a camera, and that was pretty much most of it. Between like the studio setup that I designed, I spent money on the studio, I spent money on the camera, the lens, everything. And I was left with a couple $1,000s in my bank account. I was like, well, here we go. And if this doesn't work, the worst thing that can happen is, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to do this, but I was like, I'll just move in with my parents again, which is, hard thing to do when you're approaching your 30s. But if that's my worst outcome, I was like, I'll gladly take it.
You were living crazy because we met around that time, and you were living with your girlfriend.
Yep.
You were living with your roommate Angelo.
Yep.
And
between all three of us, we were paying $400 a month, and that's not.
And your grandma.
And my grandma was there. That's right.
And you were Airbnb-ing out.
Yeah.
And your studio was like a corner of your bedroom.
It was like this like this wooden wall.
There was like a cutout in his bedroom and like you would never know.
Yeah,
like,
you'd never know.
The first time I saw him, like, dude, this is where you grow into 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah. And I lived there. Yeah, and I lived there for over a year after the YouTube thing blew up, and I was living really, really frugally. And then I realized at a certain point, if I wanted to expand and get to the next level, the thinking that got me here won't get me there. And so I slowly started to expand, and that's how that came to be.
So for someone who maybe is in the same spot, like $1,500 in their account, and they're like, I want more, like I'm not happy with my job or my current situation.
Yeah.
What's like the Andrei advice for them?
For people with $1,500.
You said that's how much.
Yeah.
You
I
said
had 15K.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so you bought the camera and the studio and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's scale that back to like 5K.
Okay.
5K in my account. I'm 28. I'm not happy.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Gosh, at 28, I would probably invest in my education. I would probably go to either school again or get a certification. And I feel like nowadays you don't have to have a degree. There are so many like training schools and to become like a software engineer. That's what I would have done. So I told myself, if this YouTube thing fails, I would go back to school, or not like traditional school or college necessarily, but get some
learn a high income skill.
Yeah, learn a high income skill. And for me, that was either cybersecurity or software engineering, somewhere in that realm, because it still interested me. Because I know a lot of cybersecurity people and people that are in software. A lot of them, believe it or not, it's the weirdest thing. They're also magicians. Like, they like magic. And because they say, like, you're still using the same part of your brain, that creative part, to try to find like vulnerabilities, and that's kind of how you think about it as a magician. Yeah. And I was like, this is cool. I would do this.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
It's just that nothing. Aside, I just had a random thought. Yeah.
Share it.
Okay. No, it's because we were talking about fact finding in sales, and you have needs and wants, and there's a challenge or a pain point, but. Mm-hmm. It was like a 30-minute debate on like, our process right now. And we were just talking about, that vulnerability and that part of it. But yeah, that was it. That was literally it.
There was no punchline on that.
There was no punchline on
like,
that.
It connected.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Well, we need to make a new move.
I think it's your role.
Oh, it's my role.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for checking out this short clip from the full podcast I did. If you want to see another clip, go ahead and click the link right here. Or if you want to see the full podcast, you can click the link right here and check it out.